Hi, welcome to Peyton Zoo. My name's Jo and I'm about to take you on a mini discovery. Peyton Zoo is a great place to get outside and explore the natural world. I'm here to help you do that with a few simple activities that you can try at home or even on your next visit to the zoo. And along the way we'll learn more about our fantastic animals and plants. So in today's mini discovery we are going to be finding out all about eggs. So we're going to be looking at which animals lay eggs, we're going to be having a look at lots of different eggs, all the different shapes and sizes, and we're going to be looking at what is actually inside an egg as well. Now for our activity today you are going to need eggs, number one, you're going to need some white vinegar, and you're going to need a clear glass as well. And we'll get onto the activity a little bit later on. So it's the Easter weekend here at the zoo, which means lots of you guys are going to be getting one of these. Now we give eggs at Easter as they're a sign of new life and the start of spring. Loads of the animals here at the zoo lay eggs, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. So the first thing we're going to do on our mini discovery today is head on into the classroom and have a look at some of the eggs that we've got here at Peyton Zoo. So eggs come in all different shapes and sizes. I've got a few different eggs in front of me here, and we're going to have a bit of a closer look at them now. So we're going to start with the biggest egg. The biggest egg in the world is this one right here. Have you got any idea what animal might lay this egg? If you thought ostrich, you would be correct. So this is an ostrich egg. So to give you an idea of the size, it's about 20 times the size of a chicken egg. So let me grab a chicken egg. Look at that, absolutely massive. So that's our biggest egg. Now I've also got the world's smallest egg with me as well. Now that is in this tiny little pot down here. So I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm going to take this little bit of cotton wool. And this is the world's tiniest egg. It's about the size of a Tic Tac, absolutely teeny tiny. Any idea what animal this belongs to? This is from a hummingbird, so a teeny tiny little bird. They lay this teeny tiny little egg. Now when the baby birds hatch out of that egg, they're about the size of the end of my little finger, and they get twice as big every single day, so they grow really, really quickly. So eggs can come in all different shapes as well, and I've got some really, really pointy eggs down here. So this is the egg from a bird called a guillemot. Now guillemots lay their eggs in nests on cliffs, and they can be very, very shallow, small cliffs, and they can also be very, very sloping. So the point of this egg is that when the birds lay the eggs, if it's really slopy, it stops it from sliding off the cliff and down into the sea below. And it's not just birds who lay eggs as well. So reptiles lay eggs, and I've got a few different reptile eggs in front of me here. So this one here, these are snake eggs. Now snake eggs aren't like chicken eggs or bird eggs that we've seen. They're kind of soft, almost feel a bit like leather. Now tortoises lay eggs that are almost a bit like a golf ball. So this is a tortoise egg here, really, really round. And it might be surprising to know that is a giant tortoise egg. So even though our giant tortoises are massive, they don't actually lay very big eggs. And then our last reptile eggs are these ones just here. So these ones are a bit of a funny shape, and you can hear they're quite hard as well. Any idea what reptile might lay these ones? Yeah, it's our crocodiles lay these ones. So our crocodiles would lay really long, pointy, hard eggs as well. So that was all the different eggs that we have here at Peyton Zoo. Let's have a go at that naked egg experiment. So for our activity this week, we are going to be dissolving eggshells to make naked eggs. Now it's really, really simple to do, but it does require a little bit of patience as well. So all you're going to need for this, white vinegar, a glass, and an egg. Now these chicken eggs, like you would buy in the supermarket, don't have babies inside them. They're what's called unfertilized. So it's absolutely fine to eat them and to do this experiment with them as well. Okay, so to set this up, really easy. You just need to gently put your egg into the glass. Don't drop it in, because otherwise it's going to break before you've finished it. And then quite easily, just pour the vinegar over the top. Now what you're going to see is fairly quickly, you're going to see some little bubbles appearing. Let's move that out of the way. You're going to see some little bubbles appearing all over the egg. Now those bubbles are carbon dioxide, so it's the same bubbles that you'd find in a fizzy drink. Now what's happening is the acid in the vinegar is eating what's called calcium carbonate. That's what the shell is made from, and it's eating away at it already. Now it's not going to happen really quickly. What you need to do now is leave this egg for about 2 days, and then you'll be able to have a look at it and see what you've got. If after 1 day, what you'll probably find is you're going to get sort of a bit of a scummy layer on the top. That's fine, that's just the outer layer of the shell that's come off. If you want to, you can replace the vinegar at that stage, but you don't have to. You can just leave it be and wait for those 2 days. Now after 2 days, this is where the cool stuff comes in. You're going to take out that vinegar and give that egg a bit of a rinse off, and what you're going to be left with is a naked egg. Now I've got one that I've been doing for a couple of days. I'm just going to grab that one here. Now this is my naked egg. Now if you see, it's now a little bit squishy because the shell of it has completely disappeared, and all that's left is what's called the membrane. So underneath every eggshell is this membrane, and that's what's still holding the egg together, but that's why it's now a little bit squishy and soft. Now inside that egg is still exactly the same. You've still got that nice yellow yolk. Now if there was a baby inside this egg, that yolk is what would feed the baby. And then around that you've got the white, or the fancy name for it is the albumin. And that keeps the yolk nice and safe, and if there's a baby growing inside the egg, it would keep the baby nice and safe as well. Now when I put this egg was the same size as the one I've just put in the vinegar here. But you might notice now, if I just grab my other egg, it's got lots bigger. And that's because this membrane that holds everything together in the egg lets a little bit of water through. So that means that the vinegar has now gone inside the egg and made it that bit bigger. But that does mean that you can do something quite cool with this experiment as well. Now you might have noticed I've got a couple of other glasses down here, one blue one yellow one. And that's because if you add food colouring into the vinegar when you set your experiment up, when all that membrane lets all that vinegar in, it will let in the colour as well, and you'll end up with rainbow eggs, which is even more cool. As well as being a naked egg, this egg is also now basically a bouncy ball. So we're going to get some cool shots now of me dropping this egg and see how high we can bounce it. Now this is going to get a little bit messy, so that's why I've got this tray in front of me here. So when it goes splat, it's not going to go everywhere. So I suggest at home you either use a tray or even do it in your sink, and then that'll be even easier for you to clear up from as well. So now the egg's gone splat, you can have a good explore of it. So here's the membrane, and then we've got the yolk in the middle here, and then the white around the edge. Now one other thing you might be able to see is some little stringy bits each side, and they're little strings that hold the yolk in the middle of the egg. They hold it onto that membrane. So have a good explore and see what else you can see in there. Just remember to wash your hands afterwards, because you are touching raw egg, so it's important to clean those hands thoroughly when you've finished. So I hope you have fun this Easter weekend making your naked bouncy eggs. Our next session is going to be after the Easter holidays, and we're going to be looking at the frog life cycle. Now we are going to be getting pretty messy with that one, so make sure you are prepared for mess. So I'll see you then.